After spending 2 days in the quiet, tranquil village of Bosa to the northwest of Sardinia, I was transplanted into the bustling capital of Cagliari. And in today's episode, I want to show you all of the delicious food, the friendly people, and some sights that are not normally associated with Italy at all. But first, I need to fill myself up with some authentic Italian dinner. And yet, I was ambushed right after checking into my Airbnb and was quickly dominated by an Italian pussy. Well, and the B&B has an overly affectionate cat. Okay, that was supposed to be my bed, but okay, it's yours. His name is Tor. Stands for tornado, apparently. So fluffy. How can you be so fluffy? Huh? Oh god, here comes the chunker. Someone help. Oh god. Ow, ow, ow. Oh, yeah. Ow, someone help. This one's really heavy. Ow.
16 paranoia-filled days later.
I found a restaurant that I see a lot of the locals are eating, so I'm just now here enjoying my seafood rice. Ta-da! Yeah, I think it's like thinner than the risotto. Like, yeah, you can see. Oh, but it smells so nice. And here comes second course, which is grilled swordfish. Yeah, vegetarians, I'm sorry. Authentic Sardinian cuisine might not be exactly suitable for your dietary restrictions. The meat is really hard and crisp, but it has a really deep, that kind of ocean flavor. So yeah, it's really good, honestly. I haven't had this big of swordfish fillet before, but next time I know this is the go-to choice. And as for dessert, the combo includes a fresh fruit salad, and the entire thing cost me about 20 euros, and that includes the coperto, the cover fee, which is basically the Italian version of the tips. And I think it's a phenomenal deal given the fact that swordfish, a gigantic fillet, coupled with almost like a full bowl of seafood risotto, like this is perfect, like perfectly priced, and I think it's an awesome deal with the amount of food I was given. And yeah, I think here food in Italy, in total, you're not gonna get like a cheap, trashy food. So this is as good as it's gonna get. And I'll see you tomorrow morning when I explore the old town. Well, good morning here from Cagliari. Actually, good afternoon, because sleep is actually my passion, and I accidentally slept well past like breakfast time. So yeah, now we are on the hunt for lunch. Well, now I'm at the restaurant, and based on the normal menu, it is incredibly pricey. But for lunch, surprisingly, well, unsurprisingly, a lot of these actually have special lunch promotions, so I can get like a 4-course meal for 15 euros, which I think is a very good value. And I begin with this kind of precoria or something like that, some kind of pasta that's basically dipping dots with seafood and some kind of grilled mushrooms with pork. So these are the 2 courses, one from the sea, one from the earth. And here is the special Sardinian bread that is crispy, that is almost like some kind of chips. And yeah, and of course for the side, it's an express service, so all of the side comes together. Steamed vegetables with potatoes, as well as a drink. You can choose house wine, or you know, as I have to walk a lot of distance for the afternoon, I have to get water, just water.
11 minutes later.
And here, you can see right next to the apartment buildings is, I think the Saint Eulalia Church. And yeah, it's really weird that you don't have zoning here in Europe, because you know, the idea of countries predate the idea of suburbs for so many millennia. Oh god, not my worst enemy. Stairs. And how are you supposed to eat on a crooked hill like this? Oh, they adjusted their tables so they're always upright. Interesting. How can there be such a big city built on such steep hills? But we're finally here. Welcome to Saint Remi's Bastion. Whoa, look at this. It's built in the 13th century, I believe. Yeah, it's one of the oldest. And yeah, look at the people on the top. You can go up there. I bet the view up there is really nice. Let's go check it out. Every single angle is dominated by mountain or the sea. And you can see the entire old town just beneath you. Now this is what I call a nice spot to chill. You can even look on the other side. Wow, and take a look at these impressive city walls. How tall they are. They're at least like 6-7 stories tall. Whoa. Yeah. And they turned the old moat into a garden of sorts. And you can see the basilica standing proud. Yeah, in any other city it's gonna be a big tourist attraction. You know, you'll have set up photo booths and some snack shops. But here it's a parking lot. Yeah, with the streets. And sitting in the old town in the middle of everything is, of course, the Cathedral of Santa Maria, the most famous cathedral of the entire region, I would say. And because it honors Santa Maria, and you can see it is clearly portrayed in the top of the main entrance. And you can see this neo-Gothic facade, built in the 13th century, still as bright as the day it was completed. And just a few steps away is Palazzo Regio. This is basically the royal representative's office in the 14th century after they took it over from the Pisans. Holy moly, it is hard to comprehend how high the ceiling is. It's like 3 floors high, and then it's completely decorated. Look at this, wow. This is such a majestic palace. Can you imagine? It's only for a viceroy? Whew. How much the money the entire kingdom has. That is just unfathomable. Yeah, this is just one of the most beautiful palaces I've seen, because it also is situated right at the edge of the old town. You have such a magnificent view, and it is hard to beat, honestly. Meanwhile, here is the warmer dining room. A little bit more, how to say this, simpler, but the entire roof is still painted with goddesses and angels frolicking to music, naked of course. Meanwhile, here you can see a beautiful green chandelier, wow, completely made of glass. So beautiful. I've never seen such an intricate glass chandelier before. But here I want to talk to you about this. This is the flag of Sardinia, and if you take a closer look, this is the modern version. Yeah, you see, it's a St. George's cross with four basically black guys and their forehead with a bandage. Yeah, this is really weird given the fact that, you know, this place has never had any interaction with most of the Africa. So how come, right? And if you look at the older version of the flag, you can see clearly was blindfolded, not actually bandaged. Well, this is because it comes from a very interesting history. This flag was actually adopted by some princes and kings from Aragon, so in Spain, and they had a lot of dealings with the Moors. So the Moors are a group of Islamic people from modern-day Morocco, and they were defeated by the Aragons, so they decided to capture them, blindfold them, and basically put the image on their flags. And here in Sardinia, it actually had a lot of connection with Aragon, and they even had a Savoy, basically some kind of kingdom that is basically related with the Aragons. So they decided to adopt the similar flag, which is the St. George's Cross, as well as Moor's blindfolded. But in the 1950 revision, they decided to change that because it kind of, how do I say this, not exactly Twitter friendly these days. And right behind me used to be the old king's arsenal, so this is some kind of a military establishment, but of course nowadays it has fallen into disuse and has been converted into a modern archaeological museum. And the square you see in front of me used to be a drawbridge that leads into the old town, so now I'm on the other side of the old town, and this is one of the old towers built by the Pisas. Yeah, so they are called Pisan towers, and this one has sadly fallen into disrepair and I cannot climb it. But now let me show you one that I can actually climb. And you can see they call it Elephant Tower because, yeah, there's an elephant. And look at the medieval metal gate. Yeah, if this comes crashing down, you better decide quick if you want to stay in or out, because there's no way you're gonna lift it up from the outside. Wow. Oh yeah, now it's also just a regular driveway, so why do they keep turning these things into just normal mundane things when they can become like a national monument in North America? And right behind me is Porta Cristina, probably the most beautiful and evocative entrances of the old town. It was built in the 18th century, rebuilt many times of course, as the western entrance into town, and of course it affords a gorgeous view over the entire basin. Whew. Yeah, the Bay of Cagliari is so beautiful. Yeah, the industrial port over there. For being a big city since the ancient antiquities, of course Cagliari has to have a Roman amphitheater, but I never expected it to have such a great view. Look at this. This gigantic amphitheater can house 10,000 people while having a majestic look over the entire sea. Yeah, and this structure was constructed in the 2nd century AD. That means it's almost 2,000 years old. And yet, about 70 years ago, when World War II was happening, this was used as an air raid shelter. Yeah, because if you take a look down there, you see there are many rooms hidden and tunneling inside these mountains. So actually, back in the days, when the Romans used it, those were just rooms reserved for the animals before they can be sent out to perform or be used as reservoirs. But in World War II, it was used as a real air raid shelter, and crazily enough, they are undergoing some kind of maintenance because every year in the summer, all kinds of concerts and then congregations will take place here still in the amphitheater 2,000 years later and still being used as its originally intended purpose. And check out this narrow street behind me. It is all greenery and just plants. It's so narrow you can barely walk in it because the plants have completely overgrown the entire street. That is so cute, honestly. So beautiful. Even just small streets are just gorgeous to look at. And the main entrance of the city has always been this one, the Leoni Gate, which basically means Lion Gate. Why is it called Lion Gate? Well, look at this. There are two very elaborate lion statues guarding the front. And this has always been watching over all of these people coming in and out of the citadel for thousands of years. Oh yeah, now it's just a driveway. And wow, take a look at this. The Civic Palace, constructed in 1907, and now it is a completely new facade built after its destruction in World War II. Whew. Look at the golden facade.
The next morning.
It is time to actually check out another typical Sardinian dish, because if you Google the top 10 Sardinian food to eat, coming in number 8 is actually Seadas. Ta-da, Seadas. And guess what's serving right here in this shop? Let's go check it out, huh? Apparently it's some kind of ravioli. Yeah. Ah, so you're making pasta. This is Seadas, no?
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 Ururgiones.
Ururgiones? Ah, okay. Inside is what? Patate?
Patate, aglio e menta.
Ay, interesting. Ah, oh, oh, difficult. It's so good. Oh, yeah, I made a mistake. So this is only a pastry shop. They sell like raw materials. So this is a Seadas inside here. If I can get it open. That's a Seadas right there. Yeah, so in order for me to get a Seadas, the owner lady actually decided to bring the one Seadas. So we took one out of the bag of 30, brought it to the restaurant nearby, and now is asking them to cook it for me. So now I'm just waiting for the food to get ready.
15 minutes later.
Well, now I have the thing. This is basically a gigantic ravioli with cheese inside. The only thing that makes it a dessert is because it has tons of honey on the top. Grazie. Italians and their pasta, let me tell you, like, they would just make anything out of pasta. I'm pretty sure if you date an Italian girl, your kids is gonna be like 35% pasta. Holy shit. Okay, so now let's take a bite. This thing just looks very weirdly appetizing. Like, if I'm hungry, I'll eat this, but then it's sweet, then it's weird. Like, how am I supposed to eat this? Like, it's deep fried. Yeah, but like, look at the insides. Right, like, I'm trying to peel it off. Oh, it's so hot. This is a dessert. Like, what do you even do about this? Oh yeah, it's really good. The orange peels. That's what adds the flavor, because the cheese actually has no flavor whatsoever. It's like those kind of fruity desserts, like fruitcakes, but like deep fried and cheese in it. Like, what's the point of cheese in it? Like, I don't get it. It's very good though. It's strangely good. Well, luckily I found a souvenir shop that is open, but apparently I have missed quite a few things. I didn't know there are actually flamingos here. Look. Yeah, and there are some things that are a little bit less work friendly. Yeah, or you know, like, okay, maybe not the best option. Or you know, apparently there's a rock shaped like yeah, mine's a little bit bigger. I did some research and I found out that just 10 minutes bus ride away, you have flamingos in this lake. Like, what? Yeah, look at it. It's a flamingo right there. Yeah, and there's more there, all the way in the back. It's all flamingos. Whew. That's crazy. It's literally just like 15 minutes from the center of town. And let me remind you, those are all commuter areas. Oh my god, flamingos right here, right here. Look at this. Look at this. It's a flamingo. And here's more flamingo. And flamingo. Everywhere's flamingo. Let me just give you a sense of how tight this thing is. So you see here? Here's downtown Cagliari. Here is a commuter town that actually metro runs to. And it is all surrounded by the suburbs of Cagliari. And you can see here, the lake, Flamingos. And here, this is like an industrial area. And there, here, Flamingos. And here, Flamingos. But here is a beach resort. You see it goes all the way around the beach. And here's flamingos. And did you know that flamingos are actually not naturally pink? They only get their pink color from the beta carotene that they ingested from the tiny crustaceans that live in these very salty lakes. Yeah, so they actually got the color from an external source. That's why when you see a baby flamingo just hatched, they are actually gray. And if you see a malnourished flamingo for some reason, they will also appear to be gray. The more vibrant the color is, the more well-fed it is. Did you know for flamingos, it is literally for them easier to stand on one leg than it is to walk around or stand on two legs? Well, this is because their biology allows them to lock their knees in a specific way, so their center of mass is always staying right on top of the one single leg that's standing, so they can retract the other leg and preserve the heat, because a lot of the flamingos will actually stay in some places that's really cold, and especially the water, it's absolutely freezing. So if they can take them out of the water, it can potentially save them a lot of body heat. And that is it of my adventure here in the capital of Sardinia. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and if you did, please consider clicking the like button and also subscribe if you want to follow me into the next part of my Italian adventures into Puglia. As you watch me slowly make my way towards the airport, I need to warn you that the next part is absolutely fantastic, because this will be my first time in a long time that I will be traveling with a few friends. I will see you in the heel of the Italian boot.